Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Matt Dr. WGGF Radio. We're at the business conference in Broward. If you're not here, you're missing out on a lot of things. We got a lot of great things happening for businesses, a lot of resources. So we're going to take a look, show you guys what's going on. We'll be right back.
The breakout session is Show Me the Money, so we're going to talk about all things banking and opportunity for credit, for new businesses, for startups, for business acquisitions, whatever the case may be. I'll tell you, probably the most important thing people don't realize is your personal credit has an awful lot to do with access to business capital. So you want to make sure that your personal credit is clean going in for new money, and it's going to be a lot easier. Also have a good business plan together. It's important for the banker and the underwriter to see what your business plan is in lieu of looking at a full financial package. Usually, more often than not, they don't have a good plan together. They just know that they need working capital, but the banks, usually look back. They don't look forward unless we're looking for SBA money, which will require a business plan. So you want to show us not only what you've done, what your experience is going into this business, but what your plan is going forward.
She's with Visit Broward.
Yep.
How are you doing?
I'm doing really well.
Tell us what are the services that you're offering? I know that you have a lot of e-services, and I know the Caribbean community now is really moving into going online and seeing what's happening in Fort Lauderdale.
All right. Well, you go to our website, visitlauderdale.com, and you can see what we're about. And we're also on the Broward website, broward.org. It has a link to everything the county does. We are the destination marketing organization for Broward County. When you're thinking of bringing a group or a wedding or a convention, we're here to help. We're here to help you find a hotel, help you. We have connections to all the hotels in the community and a way to send out bids. We do that work for you. You don't have to literally pick up the phone and call all hotels. We'll find you hotel rooms. And sometimes when we have big enough groups, we can offer you incentives to help with your stay, because we want to make sure that your stay here in Broward County is a good one.
So since I'm with the Asian American Chamber of Commerce, I wanted to tell you, so every time somebody comes in the county, you guys make a lot of money because tourism is the engine.
Well, yeah, tourism is the economic engine of the state of Florida and of Broward County. We generate a lot of our revenue from the tax on hotels. If you stay in a hotel, if you stay in an Airbnb, that little tax, that's what funds us. And we want to bring people in town to enjoy our community, our diverse community, and visit our local businesses, our restaurants, and our tour operators. And so that's what we do at Visit Lauderdale, is we market our destination to entice people to come visit, to keep our folks working, to keep our people in business. As you know here, if you have been to the hotels or whatever, who's working there? A lot of immigrants, a lot of people from the Caribbean, a lot of people from Latin America. And remember, not too long ago we had a pandemic and folks couldn't work. So we want to make sure to ensure the economic health, not only of our county, but of our community.
everybody, it's me, Dr. Weeks from WDGF Radio, and I'm with the lovely Miss Aisha Bowe, and I found out she's my people from Exuma Island. Yeah. So Aisha, tell people what's up.
Hi, I'm Aisha Bowe. I'm a former NASA rocket scientist, entrepreneur, and I'm keynoting at the Beyond Broward Conference.
So tell the people, what was it like being a rocket scientist? What made you want to do that?
Honestly, I just made it up. I was at a time in my life where I had no idea what I wanted to do. In fact, I thought I was going to, I don't know, maybe do business and travel, because business and travel together sounded amazing. And I found myself in community college. I did not do well in business. That first semester economics class just was like taking a knife to the chest. It really had me down. And I stumbled into a series of math classes, realized I could do calculus, and when I was presented with the opportunity to transfer from community college to another college, I saw that I could study engineering. At the top of the engineering list, aerospace. And I was like, you know what, God, if you bless me to become an aerospace engineer, I am going to have the most amazing career, and I'm going to make it do what it do. And that was basically it. I mean, it was kind of just like a conversation between me and God one night that was like, I think I want to do this. And so I applied, and I got lucky because when I got in, I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Now, there were a couple other choices that were very close. Number 2 was nuclear, because that sounds cool, but most of the nuclear engineering stuff involves submarines and nuclear reactors, and I like life, so I was like, I'm not sure about that. You know how we. I was safe.
Yeah.
And then the other was computer science, but I don't know if you've ever tried to code. I can't code unless I'm in the mood for it.
Yeah.
Like I can't code on demand. I couldn't see myself doing it, and so aerospace was the move for me.
So you kind of found your passion as you went along. And what's a great story here is that you tried the business, didn't really vibe on the business, so you transitioned to something else and you made it work for you.
Yeah.
So you obviously an entrepreneur.
Oh, I think we all are.
We all are entrepreneurs, so you're right, good point. So tell people how you made that transition from rocket scientist to entrepreneur.
I got restless in my job. I loved what I did, but I became tired of having to wait for other people to reward me. You work all year, you put in your performance review, and like you hope to get a raise. You hope that they're going to see your contributions in the same way that you see them. Which is like editor's note for anybody watching this interview, always keep receipts. When I was at work, I had a spreadsheet, and it was broken into like, here's what I did this day, here's how it ties to our work objectives, here's how many people were there, and here's a link to the article. I mean, I literally kept like a list. And I would turn that in every year for my performance review so that even if my supervisor didn't remember it, I had the page, dates, people count, everything on it. And I think people need to learn how to do that, right? Because oftentimes when you're in a management position, which is where I am now, it just blurs together. You know someone did a good job, but you have difficulty quantifying how good of a job they did. But back to me. So I was sitting there,
I digress.
and I was like, you know what? Why can't you govern yourself, so to speak? Like, why do you have to spend 30 years waiting for somebody else to reward you so that you can live a good life? And more importantly, I really wanted to be in an environment that I felt was culturally inclusive. And while I had the opportunity to hire maybe 1 or 2 people who looked like me and had similar backgrounds, I didn't have the opportunity to change the way the workforce looked because I wasn't in charge of the workforce. I was just a very good worker bee at what I did. And so I said, you know, Aisha, like, you never really thought you were gonna be here. Why don't you take a step in a different direction and try to create your own company and see if you can create that feel in your own business? My family, not a fan. There was not, I mean, the conversation sounded nuts, I think. Especially, love my mom. We talk about this today. She actually works in one of my companies now.
Shout out to mom.
Yeah, exactly. But she'll be the first to tell you that when I told her that I was going to leave my government job, that I had been at for 6 years, that I had health insurance, and that I had what she thought was going to be a good retirement plan. And I was going to try to create my own company that she had never heard of, and she had no idea how we were going to make any money. She thought that I lost my marbles. But today, I own not only one company, but technically 3. And all the companies are multi-million-dollar businesses. And it's like, oh, honey, I always knew you could. I knew you could.
Yeah, she believes now, right?
Of course she believes now. Of course she believes now, but I think that's true of a lot of things. Like, we often look for the validation we need to provide ourselves and others. If somebody is not on board with what you want to do, that's okay. They will eventually come along. Don't worry about it. Stay focused.
So what I'm hearing is this conversation with God, she obviously demonstrated a lot of faith in her movement. So basically you're telling people follow your passion, faithful to your vision, true to your vision, true to yourself.
Yes.
So any last bit of advice you want to give that aspiring entrepreneur?
Oftentimes, success feels like failure when you start because you don't know what you're doing. You don't know how it's going to become possible, but it is possible. And so if you feel lost, if you feel confused, if you feel scared, that is okay. There have been times when I was able to pay all of my employees, but I couldn't pay myself. There have been times when I had no idea how I was going to find the advice that I needed in order to close a deal. That's okay, right? Like, if you're struggling, that is okay. Recognize that it's part of the process and that your entire focus should be staying determined to see the reward. All you have to do is persevere.
That's great advice, very inspiring, and I like how she said, hey, she was still working as she went, but never give up. Hey, this man Dr. Reef, WGGF Radio, Broward Business Expo. Be right back.